I will be focusing on the topic of budgeting and formulation of an NRPU grant proposal. And these are the contents which I'm going to cover today in my today's talk. So first of all, the question that should arise in our mind is that why we should do this grant hunting, or why should we opt to secure some research grants. So इसका obvious answer हमारे ज़हन में आना चाहिए that as a person who is belonging from academic fraternity, as a scientist or doing this profession or belonging to this profession. So research grants are very important for us because we need to accomplish our research objectives. We have to, you know, that we often write papers and we publish our research results. So without funding or without having enough money, it's not easy for accomplishing our research objectives. So if we want to accomplish our research objectives, we must have sufficient amount of funds available. So therefore, we just need to secure some research grants for that. Now, research grant securing is highly competitive process. But however, if we follow certain rules or if we follow certain guidelines, that can actually increase the efficiency of our writing, or by which we can have effective and tailor-made research grants, then obviously the chances of their acceptance would increase. And ultimately, if we are able to win some of them, then we would sufficiently able to fulfill or achieve our research objectives. So therefore, the research grants and securing research grants is very important, particularly for us belonging to this fraternity. Now, we should have a knowledge that how or from where we can get these research grants. So as far as Pakistan is concerned, or within Pakistan's perspective, HEC is the main or a premier funding agency we have in our country. So it has a vast loop of different research grant programs. So I've enlisted a few of them. I think this is not an exhaustive list, so maybe there are some other grants that are available. So HEC programs, they continuously upgrade them. So there's a possibility that some new programs are announced. So these are the programs which I know and I've enlisted over here. So first one, the very important one, is the NRPU, which is the National Research Program for Universities. And most of us today, we are in this session because we want to have a knowledge about this NRPU grant, so that ultimately we can apply for this grant. So I will be focusing today mainly on this NRPU research grant. Then there are other options we have also. There is some GCF, which is a Grant Challenge Fund. We have LCF, which is the Local Challenge Fund. Then there is a TTSF, which is a Technology Transfer Support Fund. Then we have RRII, which is the Rapid Research Initiative, which was actually announced during the COVID lockdowns, the first lockdown, which happened to be last March. So this grant was announced at that point. Then we have some grants which are collaborative in nature. So if you want to have a collaboration with other universities, for example, if you want to have collaboration with some co-PI or lab in China, then a CPAC collaborative research grant opportunity is available. And this has recently, the call for this grant has recently closed. I think it was 30th of March. Then there is PAC France Peridot research program, which is to establish linkages between Pakistani universities and the French universities. Then there are some grants which are offered by Islamic Development Bank. And if you want to establish collaborative research, or you want to do a collaborative research with universities in UK, then there is ICRG, which is the Innovative and Collaborative Research Grant. So there's a vast pool of research grants that are available over here. So here I've enlisted only the grants which are offered by HEC, but there are also PSF, which is Pakistan Science Foundation. It also has a program of competitive research grants. So you can from time to time visit their website, and you can also see various opportunities over there. And then there are some other international funding agencies are also there. So you can also try to search for them as well. So today, again, I'm repeating that we will be focusing on NRPU, which is the National Research Program for Universities. So National Research Program for Universities is the flagship project of HEC, and the very important points in this program is that there is no specific theme that is related to such grants. So sometimes you see in different grants when they are announced, there are some themes or priority areas, or they just specify the areas where they want to have proposals. So sometimes if you are working, for example, in energy sector, and in the grant there is no such option available, there is no such area available, then maybe you will not be able to apply in those grants. But NRPU in that case is very flexible, so it has no specific theme. So you're open to apply in area in which actually you are working. So sometimes ऐसा होता है कि जहाँ पर हम काम कर रहे हैं उस एरिया में, वो एरिया जो है वो ग्रांट्स की जो थीम्स हैं उसमें वो इंक्लूडेड नहीं होता, तो हमारा जो है वो पहले से ही हम हिम्मत हार जाते हैं. But NRPU is very open, and you can have a proposal which is related to your research area. The second plus point is that it is open for all. You can, if you are from engineering side, you can apply here. If you are from humanities side, you can apply here. Also from the natural sciences, you can apply here. So this is for all. This is a grant for all. This is an opportunity for all. So this is a second plus point. Then obviously, like any other research grant, NRPU is also highly competitive. So whenever we have a competitiveness index, then we have to actually be competitive ourselves. So we have to write grant in such a way that the chances of its acceptance will become high. So जैसे कि मैं previous slide में कहा, we have to follow certain guidelines, certain principles by which we can actually improve our writing, in which we can actually frame our idea perfectly well. बाज़ वक़्त ऐसा होता है that our ideas are very good, but we are not able to communicate them well, and the reviewers are not able to understand them well. And at the end of the day, we are not able to win the grants. And sometimes if very moderate ideas written efficiently and are very good and communicable to the reviewers, then obviously the chances for the increasing or the acceptance, they will increase. So the writing is also very important for writing any research proposal. So the next important thing which we know about the NRPU is that this grant is divided into two subcategories. So first one is the basic research, and the second one is the applied research. So in the previous year, they had certain quota or percentage of awards they gave in the basic science category. So there were about 60% grants that were awarded to the basic science category, whereas the remaining 40% were given to the applied research category. So you should also establish at the start of writing your proposal that whether your research is an applied one or whether it is a basic one, because you have to actually check in your proposal. There is one option where you have to clearly mention that whether it is a basic research or it is an applied research. Like any other grant, NRPU is also executed through ORIC in the universities. So if someone wins the grant, then the funds are transferred to the ORIC office, and then ORIC will actually administer, or it will execute the grant. So the budgets for NRPU awards, they can range up to 20 million. So they are very, so it is a very handsome amount, and the project duration can go maximum up to 3 years.